Okay, so this 6-mark question is about insulating your home. So, with energy prices increasing, it is important that we insulate our homes to prevent heat from escaping. Some of the methods are simple to put in place, while others require large financial investment. Outline the ways in which we can prevent heat escaping from our homes. You should include where the heat escapes from our homes, what we can do to prevent this, an explanation of what conduction, convection, and radiation are, an explanation of how your prevention methods stop conduction, convection, or radiation, a justified opinion on which methods someone should buy first. So, this one here, we're going to plan it out a little bit before we start writing. Okay, and what we're going to need to talk about is at least 3 different places, I would think, where heat can escape from the house, how you can prevent it, and which one, convection, conduction, or radiation they are, with some talking about costs. So where heat escapes from your homes, so we're going to talk about, so there's a bunch of different places that we can talk about. So there's the windows, which are big ones. The roof is a big one. The walls. That's another one that we can talk about, but it's not necessarily one where you'd be making an improvement necessarily. And doors. Okay, so really, it's the outside of your house, and especially the openings of the outside of the house is what we're going to do. So what can we do to prevent it? Okay. So, let's just first talk about what conduction, convection, and radiation are. So, conduction. So, I'm gonna bullet point this answer, but you want to write it as a paragraph with proper connectives, like and, but, therefores. Okay, in order to get the full mark. So, conduction is the transfer of heat through solids. Okay, and we will stop this. We're going to talk about our windows. So we're going to use the windows as our example for how we can stop that. Okay, radiation, no, let's do convection next. Convection. Is the transfer of heat in fluids. Okay, so in our homes, that's the air in our homes. And that's going to be both the roof and the doors. Okay, radiation is the transfer of heat by infrared. Okay, so infrared, okay, and this is everywhere. But we can think of, there will be one method that can kind of stop it, but I don't think we're going to talk about it very much. So we're going to focus on the windows, the roofs, and the doors. But everything that has a temperature radiates heat. So there are ways that you can use your radiators a bit more efficiently. But we're not really going to talk about that here because it could be overkill. You've only got, it's 6 marks. You can really only spend about 10 minutes on a 6-mark question. More than that, if you don't have extra time, and you'll run out of time in other places on the paper. So, right. So windows can lose heat through conduction. So to solve that, you can install double glazed windows. And they have a layer with no air. Okay, that will stop conduction. However, these are very expensive and take a long time to pay back. Okay, they're going to cost thousands of pounds and will only save you, maybe 10 quid a month or, a couple hundred quid a year. So they take a very long time to pay back, and they are hideously expensive to replace single pane windows, double pane windows. Okay, the second thing that we can talk about is the roof. Convection currents carry heat to the top of the house. This will escape as radiation from the roof. You can use insulation in the roof. Let's try to make that a bit clearer, what I'm saying there. In the roof to stop this. This is expensive, is moderately expensive. But has a shorter payback time. Okay, it turns out I am not bullet pointing this. So, the roof insulation is kind of expensive. Not everybody's going to be able to afford it all at once, but it does pay for itself much quicker than, say, the double glazed windows. Finally, drafts can come in the gap under the door. Under a door. This can be prevented with a draft excluder. English is great, isn't it? The D-R-A-U-G-H-T is pronounced draft. A draft excluder. These are very cheap. Let's say inexpensive instead, or very inexpensive. And pay back very quickly. All of this writing, and I still actually don't have the 5 to 6 band yet, because I have to justify my opinion on which one they should buy first. And they should buy draft excluders first. First, as they are the cheapest option, the cheapest and quickest option. You could justify saying rooftop insulation should be first because it will stop a larger amount of heat from escaping. Okay, so there's two that are possible. So like from the three that I've written about, two of them are justifiable as the first. As long as you justify your opinion, it is fine. I could not possibly justify saying that the first thing that I'm going to do is double glazed windows because it just doesn't save enough heat. Okay, and they are extremely expensive. Okay. You could also have talked about putting curtains up. You could have talked about using foil behind a radiator to help reflect radiated heat back into the house. You could talk about putting in-wall insulation in as well for homes that don't already have it. There are lots of options. You don't have to talk about all of them for this. 3 is a good number to talk about. And then picking one and justifying your answer.